Good evening. How are you? I'm going to be reading out of the King James Version of the Bible, and I'm going to be reading Romans chapter 12, the first and the second verse, and it reads as follows. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Again, I'm reading from Romans chapter 12. And it says, I beseech you. Beseech means I beg, I plead with you, brethren. He's not talking to the non-Christians. He's talking to the Christians. He's talking to the sisters, the brothers, the elders, the evangelists, the missionaries, the prophets, the pastors. He says, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. It's not good enough just to go to church. It's not good enough just to sing in the choir. You got to be a living sacrifice. You got to be a walking example of how Jesus is. You got to be holy. That means you got to be different. You can't be dibbling and dabbling and playing in sin. You got to be holy. And you got to be acceptable unto God. And you know what? That's just your reasonable service. Yes, you. You got to present it. Can't nobody present in your body but you. You got to present your body. You got to keep your body clean. You got to keep your body holy. You got to keep your mind, your thoughts clean. This is what he's begging you to do. We're living in a day and time now where people say anything and everything goes. They say you just raise your hands and you saved and that's it. No, it's more to it than that. You got to present your body. You got to take care of your body. You got to watch, you got to keep yourself out of things that you know that's going to mess you up. And it says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. Hallelujah. You got to be holy. And this is acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And then that second verse says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You got to ask God to change your mind. You can't do the same things you used to do and think God's going to accept it. You got to have a new thought pattern, new life pattern. Again, it's more than just coming to church. This is your church. You got to take care of this body. You got to take care of this soul. You got to protect it. You got to keep it clean. You got to keep it pure. Because God's going to come back for this soul of yours. And it's your job to keep it clean. It's your job to keep it holy. And if you mess up, you have to learn how to say, Lord, I messed up. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I messed up. You don't know how many times I have to say that. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm getting there. I'm asking God to help me. I'm asking God to change me. And some things you got to do yourself. If you know that you have a lust problem, don't always be up into some man's face or some woman's face, rubbing and hugging and lipping and dipping. Don't do that. Don't tempt yourself. Don't set yourself up to fornicate. It says, with the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. That's your job, to keep yourself pure. It's your job to keep yourself in check. It's your job to examine yourself. And when you're about to do something Think about this. Would you do that if Jesus was sitting there looking at you? Would you tell that joke if Jesus was sitting in the room with you? Would you talk about that person if Jesus was sitting elbow to elbow with you? Let me tell you something. God is looking at you. He is watching you. He's watching how you present yourself. He's watching how you carry yourself. Yeah, he is. Only you can represent you. So be the best representative you can be for Jesus Christ. Be pure, be clean, be holy. Again, I'm going to read that again. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. I want to encourage you to work on yourself today. I want to encourage you to make sure that you're together from head to toe. God bless you. God love you. I'm praying for you. And again, only you can present you. Be the best you can be for Christ. Be holy. And let me tell you something. You may fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool God none of the time. So get yourself together. Get yourself right. Be holy, because God is holy. Be clean, because God is clean. Don't get yourself entangled up in no mess. God is coming back real soon. And we got to be ready. We got to represent him.